According to new numbers out this week, red states have become the newest coronavirus hotbeds here in the United States. They have finally overtaken blue states in total number of new COVID-19 infections. In fact, 70% of new COVID-19 infections are happening in red states. Now, it gets interesting when you start digging into these numbers and you see the breakdown of it, because 50% of the breakouts in the red states are actually happening in blue counties. So a blue county in a red state, about half the cases. The other half, of course, red counties. So the only common factor is that they're in a red state controlled by a Republican governor. And that is where the differences do, in fact, come from. We have seen Republican governors, specifically, a lot of those down here in the South and the Southwest, pretend that this thing isn't real. Tell us that, oh, well, you got to suck it up for the economy. That's what they were saying over in Texas. That's what they've said in Mississippi. Alabama actually never, when every other state of the country had issued lockdowns, Alabama was still dragging their feet. Their governor, Republican Kay Ivey, big Trump supporter, who finally later on decided, okay, I guess we're gonna do this. But there was a lot of foot dragging in these red states. I know, I live in one, Florida, with our Republican Governor Ron DeSantis. They have downplayed it. They have hidden the data, like what's happening in Florida, trying to convince people that everything is okay. And sure, we have plenty of areas down here in the South and the Southwest where you haven't had governors issue any kind of mandatory face covering orders. We don't have that down here in Florida. I actually went to Lowe's on Thursday of this week. It's the only store apparently in this city that I live in that doesn't require face masks to walk through the door. So do you know what you see when you walk through the door? About 80% of the people walking around that store without a face mask, acting like, oh, hell yeah, I'm free. I don't have to worry about germs in here. Any other store, any other gas station, drugstore, whatever it is around here, music store, the pet food store, PetSense, every one of them, you can't walk through the door if you're not wearing a mask. And so everybody's wearing a mask. But they think, because they're stupid, that if there's not a big sign on the door with a picture of the mask, then, oh, cool, the virus can't get me here. But the fault for that rests at the highest level of the state, and those come from the governors. And the red states are simply not putting the same kind of restrictions in place, not putting the same kind of orders in place to protect people's lives. By the time all of this is said and done, we're going to see much higher death tolls in the red states than we did the blue states. I firmly believe that, because they're already catching up. Florida and Texas are getting way up there because of this, because they refuse to take care of their citizens, because they don't want to, infringe on anybody's freedom. Oh, we can't tell them to wear a mask. That's communism somehow. No. It's just good, decent policy. Because apparently, people down here and people all over the country, really, people all over the planet, really, they refuse to be good human beings and think of others unless they're absolutely forced to do it.